It's Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. This video is about bugging out to the National Forest. Implications, how to do it, some ideas, some drawbacks, stuff like that. But first off, if you like the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell notification thing, and comment. I appreciate comments, I appreciate all that kind of stuff. It helps us do better in the algorithm and get the word out to more people to help spread the preparedness mindset. That's what I want to do. I want to get out to people. I want to have more people joining the asset column as far as being prepared and being an asset instead of a liability. So with that said, bugging out to the National Forest. Is it a good idea? Depends on your situation and what you have available to you. I don't think it's the best idea, that's for sure, because you don't own the land. And another thing is, a lot of people that aren't preppers, and they think, oh, I'm just going to go in the woods. And depending on where you live, what that national forest is like. Is it extremely remote and mountainous, like it is here? Could I head up into the Olympic Mountains and get way back in the mountains and never see another soul ever in my lifetime? Probably. But a lot of people don't have that option. I mean, if I go all the way out to like Mount Olympus in the center of the Olympic Mountains, holy cow, yeah, there's no one that's ever going to make it out that far. But your national forest may be way different than mine. You may not have that option. You may have you may run into more people, lots of people. So you got to think about that. Is that a viable option where you are? Another thing is structures, and the fact that you cannot really pre-position structures and or materials there because it's against the law. You can't just start building houses in the national forest. You can't start cutting down a bunch of trees, clearing the land and stuff like that. That's all work that have to be done post-event. And we're talking, if you're going to go in the national forest, you're talking WRL, which is without rule of law, meaning the complete law and society is broken down. There is no more law, there's no more law enforcement, all that stuff. I'm not talking about a little SHTF scenario like an earthquake or something like that. Just because an earthquake happens, it doesn't mean you have the right to go in the national forest and start building a community, a little town, because the government's going to come down on you. So, if this is your plan, you can have some of the material, have the materials needed to build your structures ready to go for you and your mag or your group, whatever it is, your family units. Have them ready, have all the materials you're going to need. Do the research and make sure that you have all the proper stuff that you need to build a proper structure of whatever size you need, or multiples, stuff like that. I can't tell you what you need, obviously, but food caches, buried caches, stuff like that, you can have those pre-positioned because nobody's really ever going to find them. You can have sites picked out, locations identified, stuff like that, routes to and from, yes. Water sources identified. Start tracking, wild game, watching their patterns. You can do a lot of stuff, yes, that will better your chances of survival. But there's just so much more to do. The best option, obviously, excuse me, I had a little bit of something in my mouth. The best option is to own rural property and to have at least a structure or two already set up, or at least the land cleared and prepared, raised beds put in, garden tilled, stuff like that. The more you can do now while it's easy, the better off you'll be. This is kind of keying off the video I did yesterday. I filmed it yesterday. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, maybe a couple days. But anyway, check out that video about shelter, or providing shelter at bug out locations or something like that. I forget what I called it. Lodging at your bug out location. Check out that video for additional information that kind of I'm playing off of it here. I'm not going to reiterate that stuff. Maybe I'll hit on a couple things, but yeah, so the more you can do now, the more you can have available. If you have land, if you have structures built, optimal. If you can't, at least have the land and have it cleared, gardens prepped, stuff like that. If you don't have that option, at least have the land. If you don't have that option, then maybe national forest type stuff might be an option for you. And at that point, do as much as you possibly can to minimize any amount of work that needs to be done in that area. Like intelligence gathered, know the area, have maps of the area, have, you can put in some trails. I'm sure, you're not going to get in trouble for doing that. Like I said, water source identified, lots of different stuff. Know all the topography, know what places is going to give you the best tactical advantage, what places you're going to be able to garden in, what's going to be required there, what kind of natural wild edibles and medicinals are there in the area. Research that. Know wild animals, the amounts of them, the proximity to you, all this kind of stuff. Know any threats that might be, whether it be from animals or poisonous plants. Know as much as you possibly can. This is intelligence gathering now. At bare minimum, you need to have intelligence gathered or start doing so while it's easy. Because like we talk about, do the hard things while it's easy. You don't want to be doing the hard things when it's hard, because then everything's going to be exponentially more difficult for you. And you're going to be much less likely to thrive, much less, or survive, much less thrive. So, yeah, do as much as you can ahead of time. As far as getting at least stuff ready for structures, pre-positioned caches for food, water, any other kind of supplies, generic supplies, clothing, bedding, all the different things. Maybe temporary shelters. Oh man, I didn't even notice this fell down. Sorry guys. It's really rough here. They're doing road construction. Oh great. Here we go. So I'm just going to hold it to finish the video. I apologize for this. When you don't edit your video, well, this is what you end up with sometimes. So I apologize for that. Oh, here we're going to stop. So let me see if I can rig something up here. Yeah, try to get as much as you can set up, pre-positioned, stuff like that. Also, as much intelligence as possible. Like I said, sorry for a minute, my mind is here. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Apologize for that, but this is what you get when you're just raw and uncut like me. Just that. Okay. Where was I? So, bug out locations. Okay, and then also, if you are planning to do something like that, no matter what it is, your bug out location, whether you own it, you have a homestead set up, whatever, already, no matter what level of stuff you have, whatever level you're at, have alternate bug out locations from there established. Because once you get there, you will no longer have that as a bug out location. That will be your home, that will be your community, whatever. That is no longer a bug out location. So have alternate sites established and set up. And if you're planning on going to the national forest, you might want to, you're going to have to think of multiple different sites as even in that situation, because there may be people, like you may have what you think is an awesome site and everything's set up and ready to go, and that's where you're going to go, and you have that one idea, then you show up there and there's already people there because they did the same thing and they identified the same spot as you did. What do you do then? That's why what I would recommend is, even if you establish a site and you start doing a little bit of work or something like that, setting stuff up, when you're doing your caches, don't set them up on site. Set them up, a mile or two away if you can, because it's still close enough where, or whatever the distance is. Set them up close enough where it's reasonable, where you can dig them up on the way, or you can send out for, a party to go get the caches, stuff like that when you get there. But don't put them right there, because if you put them right there and somebody's occupied it, well, you just lost all that stash, all those stashes. I mean, they're not going to have them either, because they're not going to know they're there, unless they're able to identify it, and figure it out. But anyway, so have your caches far enough away. Have, rally points along the way to them. I cover this in my bug out security and route videos. Look that up in the search bar. Bug out security and route on my channel, on my search bar. I go through a whole bunch of stuff about bugging out and all the requirements. Route selection, alternate routes, rally points, secondary rally points, layup points, all this kind of stuff I talk about in those videos. So go check those out. Don't really want to go into it now because I just be reiterating what I said there. Other things to contemplate are weather, time of year, requirements for your area. Also, really think about where your area is. Are you talking about national forest in a desert, or are you talking about national forest in a forest, or are you talking about in a swamp? Whatever. Are you going to need a boat? Are you on lots of lakes for fishing? Are there fish there? What kind of game? I already talked about that. All the things. Like I said, as much intelligence and information and knowledge about the area you can gather, the better off you'll be. Bare minimum. If you can, buy rural property, even if it's raw land, because then you can set up fences, you can set up perimeter security, some of the stuff. You may not want to set all of it up, but you can set up some stuff. You can start building fixed fighting positions, LPOPs, all this stuff. You can start putting structures on there, or like a structure to put all your supplies in, for all your building supplies to build the other structures. And you can start burying caches on it and around it, because even if you own it, if it's a long ways from you and you only get, maybe it takes you a couple days or a week or so to get to your bug out location post-event, you still may end up getting there and it may still be occupied, so by other people. And it depends, it's all on you what you decide to do then. Do you decide to back off and find another location and kind of call it a wash? It depends on the size, the ability, the capability of the people and the force that are occupying it. Or if you're going to try to regain control of that area. You know what I'm talking about. So that's a lot of different things to think about. There's probably more I could go into this video, but it's not coming to the top of my mind right now, and I don't want to drone on and make this boring for you guys. So I'm just going to end it now. Please prep a little every day. I always talk about that. And prep out of peace of mind, not out of fear. Don't fear porn, please. I know what's going on right now is scary. It's doubling every 3 days, and I have a feeling that it's about to get real, people. So I hope you're preparing. I hope you're getting, even if you are prepared, I hope that you're getting everything you possibly can now to add to your preps. I'm on the way to store right now. I'm going to hit probably several stores on the way home to get some more preps. Am I doing it out of fear? Am I panic buying? No. I'm just going to top off a couple extra things, grab some stuff to, put us in an even better situation. So my wife and I are honestly a little scared about this. We try not to be scared. We try not to panic, stuff like that. We trust in Heavenly Father, and we're prepared. So we're good. We're good. It's still a scary time to live in. So it could get bad, or it could just blow over. So I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.